Our U.S. correspondent James Matthews, who joins us from Washington. James, is, as we were mentioning, the third ship in 2 weeks, and we are due to hear from Donald Trump a little later this evening, aren't we?
Yeah, hi, Barbara. Yeah, he's due to hold a news conference in Palm Beach, Florida, in the company of Pete Hegseth, Secretary of War, and the Secretary of the Navy. Many questions to be asked of all three, I suppose, but the President in particular. Barbara, you're talking about that tanker, the Bella One. A great mystery around what actually is happening with that and where it is. It was caught up, well, it was pursued by the US Coast Guard, and which encountered it off the coast of Venezuela. The tanker was said to have been on its way to Venezuela to load up with oil. Now, the Bella One is sanctioned by the US because of its previous involvement in transporting Iranian oil. What happened was that the US Coast Guard caught up with it. The tanker wasn't playing ball. It turned away from the coast, started speeding towards the Atlantic. It was last heard of in a series of distress calls, 39 of them, to other shipping nearby, and last identified in terms of its position something like 500 kilometers off the coast of Antigua. So quite what the American pursuit is of it, we don't know the details of that. Presumably that will be fleshed out in this news conference. There will be questions too, surely, Barbara, about Venezuela generally, the broader picture, broader intentions of the United States. What happens next when you have this size of US military presence that already exists off the coast? Initially, this was a war on drugs. That's what we were told by Donald Trump. But US officials make no secret of the fact that this now is all about pressuring Nicolas Maduro to step down. And the targeting of oil supplies is clearly designed to pressure him economically. So many questions to be asked on Venezuela. But of course, Barbara, this is the first time that Donald Trump will be in the presence of the media since the publication of the Epstein files on Friday. Many questions to ask him about that, about who was involved in those files and who was not involved in those files, namely him. Remember, there was very little mention of him, very few images of him. One significant image that was there of Donald Trump, a photograph in Epstein's desk, that was subsequently taken out of the files that were made for public consumption. So the question will be, why did that take place? And, you know, do the victims, the survivors of Jeffrey Epstein, have a point when they say they are suspicious that a cover-up is taking place with regard to publication of the Epstein files?